Hey everybody, welcome back to our show this week. I'll tell you what, we actually were supposed to be going down to the Illinois River to film a sauger show down there, but the guide canceled the night before again. So what we're gonna do is we thought about maybe going up to Green Bay, and I'm like, you know what? Every TV show there is has been filming on Green Bay. And not that we haven't done a number of shows there, which we did, ice fishing, but I wanna go do something different. And I kept thinking to myself, what can we do? And literally, you ask why I'm so dirty? I was out planting trees when our good friend Brian Zupke gave me a call and said, hey, I'm killing the crappies, dude. And I'm like, the only day I can do it is right now. He's like, hey, get your warrior, get your stuff, get your butt down here. So right now it's about 9:30 in the morning. We're gonna crank, I'm loading all my crappie gear in my warrior, and we're cranking down to Madison to hook up with Brian. Hey, I'll tell you, Big B's Guide Service, we fished with him last winter. We've been fishing with Brian for the last couple years. This guy, no matter if we catch fish or don't catch fish, is an amazing human being and a great guy to spend the day in the boat with. So, hey, I'm gonna finish loading up my stuff. I'm hyped up, I'm jacked up, and I'm ready to go meet up with Zupke. So you guys, you know what? Hang on to your hineys, we're going crappie fishing.
Take me out on the water, way out in the woods, where the breathing is easy, the living is good. Out in the great outdoors.
Larry Smith Outdoors is brought to you by Warrior Boats, Vortex, Tubble Towels, Bartline Barrels, Magic Products, Power Sports Company, Mike's Country Meats, Leroy Meats, Easy Loader Trailers, and Heavy Shot.
Remember, like I always say, it's a great day to be alive.
You know what? I've got some brand new rods. I got them last year from Pat over at Meg's Custom Rods, and he made these for me especially for pan fishing. I used them last fall a ton for dragging jigs in the river for walleyes. They're absolutely awesome. They're definitely a medium action, and they will work out absolutely perfect for what we're doing for crappie fishing. So I'm gonna re-rig them when we get there, put some bobbers on them if that's what he's using, and hook them up. I'll tell you what, if you're looking for a great rod, definitely check out what Pat's got to offer at Meg's Custom Rods. This guy is so passionate about the outdoors. And again, these are the people we love to deal with, you know what? Because they blend so well with our show, just like you guys and gals that watch each and every week, you know. Thank you for everything you guys do for us. You know what? I'm gonna put these rods away and get that truck started up, and let's get the heck down there. Why is he calling me? Ask Hunter why he's calling me.
Hi, Hunter.
Hey, Zoop, why don't you get back out there and catch some crappie?
How do you know it's Zoop? It might be Callum.
That's not Caleb.
Right.
I hear that laugh.
Yes, sir.
It's a pleasure, my
You betcha.
pleasure.
Have a great day.
Yeah,
Hey, Brian, get
thank
him on some bed.
I will,
That's
man.
right.
I know you will.
We're talking Big B. I can see. I got
Thank you,
the
sir.
Big B.
Good God, man. You don't have to eat peanut butter Captain Crunch. You know what? Hey, this is what I've been doing, everybody. My little snack lately is this. The last month and a half, before I go to bed, Frosted Flakes. Oh, you're like, well, what's so big about Frosted Flakes? No, let me tell you how to really, really add something to Frosted Flakes. What I've been doing is taking strawberry, raspberry, and banana jam, and I mix it together I put it, like I get my bowl like that, put a little raspberry jam here, a little strawberry here, and a little banana here. It's kind of like, you know what? It's kind of like a banana split, but it's a Frosted Flake split. Hey Brian, let's talk a little bit how you find these fish, and I'll tell you what, by you using the side imaging with the Humminbird or using the live scope, Garmin live scope is incredible. How it just cuts down the time. I mean, you can just, you know, it's one thing to get them to bite, but finding the fish nowadays, everybody, is so much easier because of electronics.
And right now we're sitting on a ledge, and then it gets up to a 3-foot flat.
Okay.
And those fish are sitting right on the drop of that ledge in like 5 feet.
So are these fish sitting here staging the spawn?
I think so, yeah. Well, you got to remember, ice just came off here probably about a week and a half ago here.
Okay.
So these fish are probably setting up after their winter habits. There's actually 2 schools on the screen right now.
How do you know that? Let's show everybody.
These are the fish right here. Those are fish, and those are fish. And I got it on perspective mode.
Yep.
And they're about 60 feet out. And they're at 40 feet to our right, 60 feet out, so at a 45. 40 feet ahead of us here. 80 feet this way. They're literally straight that way. No, straight that way.
Oh, really?
You're confusing me. Well, which way is that way? The question for the day is, which way is that transducer pointing? We're all excited, and we really are excited about catching some crappies. Take a break from that walleye fishing. Caleb, I'm gonna make you a special sandwich. Got some meat from Leroy's. You're saying, oh, that's not a special sandwich. Believe me, it will be right now. Now that's a sandwich. We know that Mr. Zupke can catch bluegills. We know he can catch perch, but do we know he can catch crappies?
Is that crappie? Ah, no, I said crappie.
I don't know what I got here. Whoa, this ain't no crappie. I don't know what I got. Oh, look at that. You said the first fish is gonna be a pike. You dirty, rotten dog, you. Little chunky monkey, you. Come to Papa. I've been eating crappies. There's none left for you guys. See how they lose their teeth? How pike lose their teeth? See that? They're just starting to come back. He's gone. Yeah, now I got pike slime all over. Not for long. Pike slime. Oh, holy moly! Dude, get that in there.
Oh,
Holy
gosh.
Holy, that is a giant.
About 4 feet.
Oh, that
Maybe a little
is
more.
tank. Look at the size
First
of that
crappie of the day, finally.
Wow, dude. Got a pike, caught a crappie. I'm all tangled up. I'm so excited. That's the key. Let's talk about electronics.
Oh, here it comes.
You saw them 3-4 feet down, and now they're, oh, look at the size of that crappie. Oh, them are some beasts. You know, we decided to do something a little bit different this week. Everybody's been on the walleye gig up in Green Bay, but we decided to come out and do some crappie fishing with Brian to kind of mix things up. And the cool part is, again, how electronics have changed fishing. Now, basically, we were fishing 4 to 8 to 10 feet down. Brian just kept going with the trolling motor and was using the Panoptics, and he's got it on perspective view, and he saw that them fish were only 2 feet down, basically right underneath the surface. He shallowed his bobber up right away. First cast, crack, giant crappie. And I would say when it comes to pan fishing, I'll let you talk a little bit about this too, Brian. Crappies are probably the most temperamental panfish there is. I mean, if the wind changes just a little bit, they'll shut down. Too much boat traffic, they'll shut down. They just are very finicky panfish.
And that's the worst, you know, you can see the fish on the graph and you just can't get them to go. So I always try to switch it up and try for bluegills and
the perch. You guys had one heck of a winter, didn't you?
yeah, this winter was incredible for perch fishing. And the size of the schools of perch that we were seeing on this electronics was, you know, unbelievable. We were seeing perch that were 20 feet tall by 80 feet wide.
Son of a gun, Zuper.
Oh, that's a big one.
Oh, that's a tank. That is a tank. You know, Brian, we've caught a lot of big gills with you and some absolutely giant perch, but these crappies are amazing.
Well, I'm using a Custom Jigs and Spins Rat Finky purple in a size 12.
Yep.
And
Now, why a size 12?
I just like small stuff in the spring, you know, because these fish are coming off their winter patterns. And, you know, small stuff is finesse. You know, you want those fish to eat something little because they're not really looking to eat a big meal, I don't think.
Right. Oh, man. These are all like absolutely takes. Yes, I will be your bait boy and your fish taker offer guy. Hey, again, we're just using the Panoptics and just, they keep moving. So them guys are on the ball mount and Brian's on the Panoptics and he keeps casting to where the fish are. It's always funny because he's saying 40 feet straight out in front of me and he casts another 20 feet out in front of him himself and just catching the fish. I'm loving it. No, I'm staying right here where I am. I'm in a good spot.
Shallow
Hooked up.
Oh.
Did you
look at
shallow
that.
up?
It looks like a crappie.
No, he's about to stay.
It's a nice one too.
Same depth I've been at this whole time.
Which
Same-
is what?
About 3 feet.
Okay.
Very, very shallow. We're seeing them on the live scope, very shallow. So set it very shallow and there's the results.
You know what? Ho ho! I got it down now, at least that time. Definitely, I went shallower and I started twitching it more, and I wasn't twitching it enough, you guys. That cadence is everything. You got both of my wax worms too. I was using a minnow before, and there we go. About a 10-incher, nice crappie. Loving that, but it's amazing. You know, these guys were out here this morning and how this whole thing came about. So I was at home planting trees, and what we were gonna do is we were gonna go to the Wolf River this afternoon and pump jigs. And Brian, I was planting trees and I had my phone in the Ranger, and all of a sudden I heard it ringing, and I said, I'm gonna finish planting these last 3 trees and I'm gonna see who called. And I go over there and it was Brian. I call him up, he said, dude, we're in Madison just killing the crappies. I'm like, what? It's always nice to do something different, and that's why we're going down tarpon fishing. Of course, you know, our show went national too, so we want to do more things around the country. That's got that rod bent over good. You know what's amazing? What happens this time of year, you guys, is that these fish actually move in shallower, you know, midday, because that water temperature, oh, that is an absolutely another tank. But that's the key. You got to remember the water temperature. Right away this morning when Brian and Caleb were out, they were out in about, here you go, Brian, about 10 to 14 feet of water. And we came out and they met us back at the landing. Of course, we brought the Warrior and they jumped in with us. And we were having for about an hour a little bit of a struggle we were marking fish, but they weren't the active fish. And what happened is Brian saw them way in on the break right there, 4 to 6 feet of water. And it made total sense to us, because what's going to happen is that, you know, late morning, midday, they're going to move into where the water's the shallowest, because that's going to be the warmest water. And that's what it's all about this time of year. So really watch it. And then of course at night, they're going to move back, because as that water temperature starts cooling down in the shallows, your deeper water is going to hold its temperature better. So they're going to move back into that deeper water, which in here is in that 10 to 14, 16 foot range. But if they're not biting, you really got to remember that they're always biting somewhere, somehow. So just keep on the hunt and keep on the hunt. And that's what Brian and Caleb did. Oh, Caleb! Oh, Caleb!
Oh, we're hooked up with another crappie. A lot of twitchy going on. Yep.
Twitchy.
A lot of twitchy and pawsy and then bitey.
Hey, I'll tell you what I noticed, and it's probably why I'm not getting as much as Brian and Caleb are doing, is that my line is spinning a lot. So what happens with some of these bobbers is that when you keep casting, you get a lot of twist in your line over and over. So what I'm gonna do, I just cut it about 12 inches, and I'm gonna put a swivel in there to try to get that twist out of my line. Because what I want to make sure that bait, when it gets down there, it's not doing this over and over. And I'm twitching it all the time, so you're gonna get more and more twist into that, and that's what's happening. My jig is constantly moving. Every time I get bit, it's either going like that, and I want it to lay horizontal. So I'm gonna do something else here right away too. And this is a trick that I learned a long time ago by a mentor of mine, Rody Brecke, is that using a quick snap. So what I'm gonna do is I'm cutting my line, and you can see it right here. Maybe you can zoom right in on it. That's a quick snap right there. It's gonna allow that bait to move rock back and forth like that, and it's gonna sit perfectly horizontal because it's gonna have room to move. You can do a loop knot too. Hey, here we go. Look at, oh, that's a fighter too. Look at the size of that fish too. I put that quick snap on there, again, making a little bit of a difference. You know, before I noticed when I was pulling my line and it was going like this, back and forth. So I put the quick snap in here like that, and then I put the swivel in up here, so I got the twist out of my line. But again, with that quick snap, I'll show you in the water how it gets that jig to rock back and forth. And the little things make a huge difference. Yes. Brian, The crappie master. Hey, I'll tell you what, everybody. You know, we are absolutely having a ball catching absolutely giant crappies. But you know the other cool part is, and like so many other guides that we fish with, we have a good time. And really, that's what it's all about. We're going to go through a little bit later, and we're going to show you, if you're coming out to do some crappie fishing, what kind of bobbers, what kind of weights, what kind of jigs you guys should use. What should you have in your tackle box to come out here and successfully catch crappies? Hey! Woo! Zupke! Right? Zoop, you are on fire, brother. He just loves it because he just flops them up to me and I take him off the hook for him. Look at the smile. He's like a little kid. That ratfinky is buried. Crappies are an absolutely awesome looking fish. I'll tell you that. Just look at the shoulders on these fish. Just the size of them. These are giant crappies. Look at your, oh God. Oh, paint-a-roni. This is a lot of fun. You know what's cool? We're the only boat in here, right? Hey, you're talking about giant crappies. You know what? I'll tell you what, Caleb. You and Zupke are dialed in, no doubt. Big perch, big bluegills, giant crappies, panfish wizard, always changing. You know, you're marking the fish. You see them. We had them going good. What happened is it got a little bit darker out, cloudier out. So I'm going to put a little beaver tail on here and see if I can get them to go on the beaver tail. So what I'm going to do, I'm actually going to take that beaver tail and I'm going to thread it on. This stuff does not come off. So what you do, you'll see it in the water how it'll just wave up and down. You're right on them, huh? Oh, that's a tanker. I just cannot get over the average size, and then you all of a sudden pull this tank like this one out. You know it's a big crappie when you could put a golf ball in his mouth. Got that one on the old beaver tail. It works out good because that beaver tail really stays on there, and I put a couple of wax worms on there. But I love that beaver tail because it really adds to it, you know, and I know when it's interesting when you see it in the water, the way it swings back and forth. Hey everybody, this week's tip of the week brought to you by our good friends up at Mike's Country Meats, the finest jerky on the planet. Hey, I'll tell you what, Brian, you know, to become a successful guide and to stay on fish, especially panfish, having great electronics really more than ever makes a huge difference, doesn't it?
Oh my God, if I didn't have this today, we probably wouldn't know about these crappies that are a foot below the surface.
And when you look at the Panoptics, the live scope, you know, that unit runs from $25,000 to $3,000. That's a lot of money. But when you really look at what it does in the time that it saves you and how it makes you such a better fisherman, for sure, that's really what it's all about. When you're looking at today, we have moved so many different times, and it seems like them fish today definitely are not staying in one spot. We're basically working a basin, so you're not really working any structure. So it's really, that's where it really plays a major factor in, so you can constantly stay on these fish, you know the direction they're going in.
Exactly. You know, this device has perspective view too, and seeing those how many fish that you're casting at, you know, really makes you think like, well, how many fish are over there? How many fish are over there? So you just turn it a little bit and you see a school of 10, 15, flip it out there, your bobber's under almost instant if you land right in the middle of them.
Hey, our tip of the week brought to you by our good friends up at Mike's Country Meats up in Tigerton, the finest jerky on the planet.
Built for fishermen, built by fishermen. Really, that says it all.
It's the family here. It's not a big conglomerate, it's a family.
They treat you feel like you're in a family, you know.
When you put those two together, an amazing product and amazing people, it's just the type of company you want to be involved with.
Not only because of just the great boats, but because of the camaraderie that the Warrior family has.
The customer service is amazing. They never leave you hanging.
So come join the Warrior family. Hey Brian, let's talk about really the different bobbers, and it looks like you've got quite a few different bobbers in here, and I know they all have a purpose. So kind of let's go through the first one.
That one I like to use weightless, just a little, you know, number 12 radfinky, and I use that when the fish are really finicky.
Why is that? Now, why does it have the double bobber on it like this?
So I leave it so it lays flat.
Okay.
So those two bobbers that are right there, I use for just a regular 30 or 64th ounce jig head.
Okay.
And they lay flat, and the lightest touch, you know, when I'm fishing little channel ways, you can see the lightest bites. just creates the littlest ripple, and you can set the hook, especially when those fish are just coming out of that winter setup, and they're really lethargic.
Now, what's with these bobbers here?
That's the same concept that I use. I just tried 2 different kinds. You know, sensitive bites. You know, you can see those sensitive bites. So those are my light slip bobbers that I use. They work awesome.
Especially when you're in deeper water and you need to have more than, 3 to 5 feet of line out so you can get that distance on it. Okay. And I see you got all sorts of small jigs, ratfinkies in here, right? And now today, this is what I was using, a rocket bobber.
Yeah, that's a great bobber. The only thing bad about the rocket bobbers is the line twist.
Okay.
But you can overcome that by using swivels.
Okay.
And then setting the depth that you want to fish, and then hooking the swivel into the clip part of the bobber.
I get the last crappie of the day. Boy, that is a fighter for sure. Woohoo, Zupke. Hey, I'll tell you what, Brian, let's talk a little bit real quick about when people come out and they want to do a trip with you. Let's tell them what they need to bring.
So the things you'll probably need to bring: warm clothes, depending on the weather, sandwiches, waters, and a fishing license. That's the most important thing to bring.
And don't come nude.
Don't come naked, please God. I supply the rods, the bait, obviously the boat, in my knowledge, and the electronics. You know, I got all the toys of the trade. So.
Okay. Hey, do you do half days and full days?
I do. I really push for half days.
And why is that?
Because I like to be off this public lake by 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock because of the boat traffic.
And what time will you start at?
I like to start at 5 or 6 in the morning.
And you guide for bluegills, we know, and perch, and obviously crappies. But you do some bass and some walleye trips too.
Yeah, I really enjoy, my secret passion is chasing smallmouth bass.
And your phone number, Brian, is?
608-219-0505. All spring I will be on bluegills and crappies, and I'll slowly start transitioning into perch as summer gets, the days get warmer and the water temperature gets warmer.
Hey, Caleb, you are an awesome fisherman. Let's talk a little bit about your YouTube channel.
Yeah, so basically anytime that Brian's not guiding or I'm not helping him, trying to film all my adventures. My YouTube channel is Caleb B. It is C-A-L-E-B, and then a B with a period after it.
Hey everybody, thanks for joining us this week. I'll tell you what, it is always a pleasure, and being able to come out here and to experience the experiences that we get with all the different guides and people we fish with is absolutely awesome. Make sure you check out all of our social media, especially our podcast, We Eat, Fish Eat, every Tuesday. Hey everybody, be damn proud to be an American, because we still are living in the greatest country in the world, and let's keep it that way. And no doubt it is a great day to be alive, and we'll see you next week. The great part about this stainless table is that it's very durable. It works out really good for cleaning fish. It washes down real easy. And if you guys are looking for a table like this, all you need to do is go to Back 40 Gear, and you can pick one of these tables up. What the hell are you doing? You never had banana jam? Good gracious, mighty man, where have you been living? That's a cameraman, not a boy.
I'm a boy.
A boy cannot grow a beard and mustache.
Larry.
That's a crappie! You get good, Caleb. I love you.
Hey, I'll tell you what, if you want to get over 400,000 miles on your pickup truck, you need to subscribe to our YouTube channel down below.